Can you hear me?
You're
Hello,
on.
hello. Oh, this is take two. Reggie just got stung by a bee, but we're in here and we'll get something on that. The bees are thick on our gorgeous phlox. But what I'm talking about today is I had questions about my braid and it's doing very well. Um, Grass did come up in front of it, which is typical because it's grass. And I cut that back away from my hydrangeas here. But next year I'll braid it a little higher. This was done in May at about 3 feet tall. And I will bring it up a little higher. I won't use the French braid method. I'll just use three nice big clumps. But I've been real pleased with how it's kept it really from flopping through a lot of rain and wind. And so on the other side, I'll show you how it looks. I started cutting it back this morning because to get back in my this
You
little,
walk too fast for me, honey.
oh, I'm sorry, but to get back in this little pathway, I've had to get in here and start cutting back some of this grass. But it looks like my braid didn't hold up as well on this side because I did it a little lower. But will I braid it again? Indeed. I think it's wonderful. It's a wonderful support structure for your ornamental grasses, particularly in a small backyard garden like this, where I want to be able to plant underneath of it. And it just gives it, and I didn't have to use string and poles. It's aesthetically more pleasing to me. So what I have found though, it does, oh my gosh, I just love it. But you want to keep it groomed up a little bit. It always gets behind, some grooming gets behind me. But I'll know next year how to, this is my first time, but I recommend anyone to use the braiding method on ornamental grasses using just 3 strands of your grass, and I'll do another one next year. Thick strands using good tie off at the end, but it has done a great job. So that's the one thing that I was asked about, and it's doing great. And like I said, I'm going to keep cleaning my path in here so I can get into some other. I won't do that. This is all I'm going to do. I'm going to get in here and cut away these tall branches so that I can get back and do a little more weeding and that type of thing in the back of my garden. So let me show you. The other thing I want to show you is we did like the Chelsea chop on the Nepeta, that big, I had a big stand of Nepeta and I was on the fence whether I wanted to dig it up, get rid of it. But the Chelsea chop worked great and I like how it's kept it from getting too tall. But this plant is over 4 years old and you can see how it's sprawling. So what I am going to do in the fall, I'm going to divide it, but I am really pleased with how chopping it completely back kept it from getting
But it
too
still
tall.
seems to have spread.
It seems to, well, it's the size of the plant. This is
Yeah.
4 or 5 years old. I probably can cut this into 4 to 5 plants, and that's what I'm going to do. If you have plants that are over 4 or 5 years old with your Nepeta, and I wish I could remember the variety of this because my other cat's meow Nepeta that I've cut back, you can see how its form stays a lot more compact, and this is 2 years old and getting nice blooms. So I'm going to, like I said, I'm going to divide that one, cut it into smaller pieces. And, I'm that gardener. I'm not ready to, I'm not going to throw it out. I want the balance of the Nepeta in the front of the garden. So that's what I'm going to do. And then that means I'm going to have Nepeta to give away. There you go.
But you should only do it in the fall.
I wouldn't do it now because I don't want to have to keep it watered. It's blooming again. I'm going to let it bloom till the frost comes, and you can divide it now or in the spring. I would not now, excuse me, but in the fall of the year, I would say at least in this area, our first frost sometimes can be the middle of October. So it may be September when I divide that out, and then we always have like plenty of rain like we've been having. But that's what I'm going to do that. But real pleased with the braiding of the grasses. Look how nice it stands on this side. I love it. And I will braid it a little higher. I love not seeing strings or poles. So try that next year if you have some grasses. Try one at least. Now when I drive by any kind of grasses anywhere, last night we were at a dinner. I don't know if Reggie noticed it, but all along the bank, we were eating outside, there was the zebra grass. And I thought, oh, I'd like to go over and braid 2 or 3, particularly if you have a stand of ornamental grasses, because my friend, we did hers, and it was on a somewhat of a rise in her property. Really made a statement when you could see the braid as a focal point, a piece of art. So anyhow, that's it for today. Just a few updates on the grasses and the Chelsea chop, or just pruning back your nepeta. So we will see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Hit that bell. We'll see you. Bye.